Alright, this is my 93 Geostorm. It has a blown head gasket due to the fact that the water pump went bad, and I thought that I could get away with driving it in a few more days. But needless to say, I didn't. So if you have a bad water pump, you might want to go ahead and replace it if it's leaking at all. But I was hoping it'd just jump time. Needed a timing belt and a new water pump. Got all that on there, cranked it up, and guess what? I have a blown head gasket. Again, this would probably make my third or fourth blown head gasket, so I'm getting pretty experienced with blowing engines, unfortunately. But I'm gonna try steel seal right here. I actually had a blown head gasket in my 97 Malibu, and I tried bars leak and all the other crap with little particles in it, and it didn't work. So I put some steel seal in there, and it actually worked. And I drove it for probably another 4 or 5 months, and it took care of the problem. The only problem was that all the little particles from all the bars leak and everything sealed up my little hose from the radiator to the reserve tank, and it got low on water and overheated. So I wouldn't recommend bars leak at all, unless maybe you have an ancient big block of some kind. Maybe it'd be alright, but these little 4-bangers, there's too many little small holes and orifices. You're gonna regret it, and you're just gonna clog everything up. But this one is blowing a little bit worse than the Malibu, so I'm really gonna see how good this stuff is. I mean, it's got water in the oil, and cranked it up the other day, just blew out tons of water in the back. So we're gonna see how good this stuff is, and I guess we're gonna try it out. Pretty much all you gotta do is pour it in there, let the sucker run for 60 minutes at 1,000 RPMs, and shut it off, leave it for a while, and let it work its magic. But we'll see if it can resurrect this car from the dead. Otherwise, it will be going to the scrapyard along with all the other vehicles that I've taken there recently. But the good thing about it is, if it doesn't work, all I have to do is send in my slip from the junkyard saying that it has been junked, and I'll get my money back. So that's not too bad. Kind of helps out. I mean, this stuff's pretty expensive. It's like 70 bucks, but it's a lot better than paying $400 or $500 to get a head gasket or doing it yourself and all the time, especially for an old car that's not really worth much. But I guess we'll let it run in there for a little while, and hopefully it'll work. Alright, you can see I finally got this thing started after about 15, 20, 30 minutes out here trying to get it cranked. It's so bad. I mean, it's just blowing out water all over the place. I actually took out one of the plugs, and water just poured out of it. That'd give you a little indication of how bad this head gasket is blown. So now I got it running. Hopefully it'll stay running for the hour it needs to. And we'll see what old steel seal can do. Alright, I'm about 40 minutes into letting my car run. Let's stop smoking pretty much, and stop blowing out stuff for the most part. Hopefully that's a good sign. It's sounding a little better. Still skipping a little bit, knocking a little bit, but it's probably because it's got water in the oil, and if it actually works, I'll probably have to take all the oil out and everything. Had to release, adjust my radiator cap a little bit. It was building up too much pressure, I guess, from all the bubbles from the blown head gasket. But since I did that, it stopped running hot. You can see I have my van hooked up. That's because I don't have the alternator hooked up to this car, and the battery ran low from just trying to start it for so long. But Nice little wasp there. See, it's pretty steady there, hanging around 900 RPMs. And, heat gauge is a little high, but it's probably burned out a pretty good bit of water since I've been running it, I imagine. Once I cut it off, I'll fill it back up after I let it cool down, and then hopefully it'll crank right up, and that'll be the true test to see if this has really done anything, or if I've just wasted a lot of time and money. I'll cut back to another video of when I start it up and see the moment of truth. Alright, so it's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Let the engine cool down good. Put some water in the radiator. Put about a gallon in there. Now I'm gonna see if it'll crank up. So let's see if the steel seal worked. Not sound too good. And I'm guessing that's a no. Should not have that much pressure on the radiator system right away. Let's try it one more time with the radiator cap off. Well, I guess it was just blowing too bad. I guess there's some things that steel seal can't fix. Yeah, it's just blowing out so much water right there. It shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't have that much pressure on the water. So apparently it was just running good because it ran out of water and didn't have anything to interfere with it. Well, I guess I'm out of luck. So, I guess moral of the story is that if you got a slightly blown head gasket where it'll crank up, run for a little bit and just burn off a lot of water, steel seal will probably fix it. But if your car's pumping out more water than a water pump and it's coming out your pistons and everywhere, it's probably not going to fix it, and you probably ought to just get a new head gasket or something else. So unfortunately, this car is going to have plenty of other junk companions very soon. I hope the price of scrap metal is still pretty high, because this car does not weigh much. But that's the end of the story, and I'll see you next time on my car reviews or product reviews.